Okay, boys, let's talk about some more trade stuff, specifically guys who I haven't talked about so far. If I've missed something between this video and the one I did, I don't know, like a week ago now or whatever, my bad. I'm going to start with Terry Rozier, who's been getting buckets this year for the Hornets. NBA.com says his pull-up threes are at 40% on the season. I was watching just some of his stuff. I mean, it's pick and rolls, it's step backs, it's relocating as someone's driving and then catch and go from there. He's having the best two-point shooting season of his career, a lot of that through like pull-up twos and floaters and stuff. The thing with the Hornets is that they've just been injured again. Like LaMelo has played 19 games this year, Mark Williams has played 19 games, and so now there's the Rozier noise. I mean, Zach Lowe has brought it up, and he's not going to bring it up if he hasn't heard something already, of course. I've seen other reports just saying, yeah, pretty much the Hornets are open for business, basically. Miami, I think, has been the most popular team to talk about for Rozier right now. The thing with a potential Miami move, and obviously Rozier I think, would fit in well with the Heat. Like, they could use just more production out of the point guard spot because Kyle Lowry is just old. Of course, Rozier would not shoot the ball as much in Miami. He would not run as much of the offense in Miami. And I do think the Heat, just with Bam, Jimmy, Spo, I think they could fit in kind of anybody and make it work defensively, right? I mean, this season, like, Jimmy and Bam have only played 15 games together, but when they're on the court together, their defensive rating is like 109, which is a great number. And so if you're concerned about, like, well, could Rozier play with Hero and stuff, I think Miami can make it work. However, the thing for the Hornets is I don't think the Heat would put Jovic in a Rozier trade. It pretty much would just be a salaries and picks type of a move. And the Heat have a 2-year window where their pick is owed to the Thunder. It's going to convey this year, but it's still technically owed for 2 years as of this deadline. But yeah, if the Heat are going to get Rozier, it's pretty much going to be Lowry's contract moving, whether it's 2-team trade, 3-team trade, whatever, and the Hornets are getting picks. Of course, I can be wrong. Maybe Jovic would be in the move, but my gut just tells me I don't think Miami's going to move him. And if you're a Hornets fan, that probably doesn't sound that great. Which is why I'll throw you a little bit of a bone. I don't think the Hornets have to trade Rozier. I think they should definitely have the phones open, but if an offer comes around that just doesn't really hit for you, you have him under contract for 2 more years. Like, there is a chance you can wait till the offseason and get a better return for the guy. The counter to that being he's having his best season and his value might not be better than right now, but it just comes down to the offers. Now we're going to go on to a recently traded dude in Bruce Brown, and the report says that the Raptors want a first-round pick and a player back for Bruce Brown. We all like Bruce Brown. Okay, we recognize he can be a player on a title team. He can run pick and roll. He can screen on the ball. He can be tough defensively, be a good connecting passer in the flow of the offense, cut, be in transition, whole thing. A pick and a player sounds like a little much, unless it's like a late first from a good team, and then the player they're getting back is like a young guy who hasn't totally hit, but, you know, different situation. Maybe he could be better, that sort of thing. Now, if another team is willing to dip in a little bit more into their draft stuff, again, not going too crazy, maybe you got some extra seconds that project to be good, that sort of thing, then maybe you could do it without giving up a piece of your rotation for Bruce Brown. The other thing is that Bruce Brown makes $22 million. So someone's going to have that tradable contract. Now, Philly does. They do have the Morris expiring. And when I was thinking about this a day ago, they were the first team that I kind of thought of for Bruce Brown, but we had a report out of the Philadelphia Inquirer saying that the Sixers are unlikely to pursue a deal for Bruce Brown. So there you go, I guess. Miami has been rumored for Bruce Brown as well. He's not exactly what they would like, which is a point guard. He can handle the ball some, but he's not a point guard. Again, the Lowry contract is your moving thing there. The Knicks, I think, have had... I mean, Bruce Brown even had a quote where he was like, yeah, I can help out the Knicks. The Fournier contract, and then I guess you're arguing with Toronto about Quentin Grimes pretty much. I mean, the Lakers are rumored for other things right now with, like, DeJounte or whatever. But, yeah, Bruce Brown can help him out. I mean, he's not like a take a bunch of threes type of guy. But good players are good players. Now let's go to the Kuzma rumors. There was some Dallas stuff yesterday. It seems like there's always some Kings Kuzma rumors as well. I think on a different team where Kuzma can be a little more of like a play finisher, especially when he's able to get going like off the catch, or if you run him with some off-ball screens to where he can catch it on the move and then get downhill. I like that a lot on a team that can just create a few more opportunities for Kuzma, because on the Wizards, he's got to do a lot for them, right? Not to say that he's like single-handedly getting all of his buckets. Like, obviously, he still gets assisted from like Tyus Jones and stuff, but the asking price for him right now seems to be 2 picks. That's just from a report out of the Wizards, and I look at that as the Wizards saying, we don't have to trade this guy, so if we're going to, you better give us like a really good offer. And for Dallas, it doesn't feel great. Like, I know Kuzma's put up over 20 a game on the Wizards right now. It's just the one thing Kuzma would do for Dallas is he would give them more rim attempts, because he could attack off the catch when the defense collapses on Luka and Kyrie. Cool. Might even be able to get some screening actions with him involved, maybe. That being said, they need more defense. And even if you want to make the argument of, well, Kuzma in Dallas would be able to put more energy onto his defense and he would get more open shots created for him, it still just doesn't feel like the move that takes Dallas over the top, but it does still put them out of draft picks in the future, you know what I mean? Like, it would help, but it would do enough, really. The one argument you can make for that is, hey, bro, they got Luka and Kyrie. Just get one more guy in here and we're going to the moon. I don't think I can get there with Dallas, even if, yes, they do have Luka and Kyrie. And also, Dallas already has like picks that are locked up in protections and stuff, so that's already a little tougher of an ask for them anyway. And as for Sacramento, it's also a similar thing. Like, look, the Kings are desperate to get more production out of the Harrison Barnes spot than what Barnes has given them so far this year because of his decrease in like rim rate and free throw attempts. And again, Kuzma helps with all those things. Well, not as much with free throw attempts, but like scoring inside. I mean, Kuzma, he's shooting like 75% at the rim this year. But look, the Kings, they've got the next 3 years of protections on picks and stuff, so those get tough to move. That's from the Kevin Huerter trade, so they'd have to move picks in the distant future. Again, the Wizards are asking for 2 apparently, and even if you want to apply swaps or protections or whatever on those, again, he would help, no doubt. It's just, are you willing to make that move? And it makes me feel a little queasy because then you think about your ability to make other moves in the future and, all that stuff. I think next we can go back to Atlanta, but we are not going to talk about DeJounte. We are going to talk about Clint Capella and AJ Griffin. And to be clear, there are not like hard rumors about Capella right now, but there's some stuff if you want to do the Googles. And I also saw a podcast with a Hawks insider recently who said that he was surprised that there wasn't like more of a rumored thing around Capella. I did just take a look at a bunch of Cavs shot attempts in their last one against the Hawks because I just, for some reason, need to constantly keep up with the Hawks pick and roll coverage. Capella's sometimes in a drop. He's sometimes higher up on the screens. There you go. I do wonder in a different situation if Capella was just like in full-time drop, which, to be fair, Atlanta has leaned more into as the year has gone on. At the beginning of the year, it was like, oh my God, their bigs are high up on every single pick and roll. But yeah, like, could he still be like a huge piece defensively for a team, or at least part of a good defense? Some of that depending, of course, on, who the guards are, they fight around screens, all that stuff. Of course, Atlanta's got a Kongwu, and he and Capella's minutes have been pretty similar for a while now. Anyway, finding a Capella team is tough because, you just do a scan around the league. Most teams are pretty good with their center position right now, man. Unless you want to put Capella in a backup role or potentially try some double big stuff. Now, if you're going to do that, then the big next to Capella needs to be really, really good on offense. Now, I do know that there's been a little bit of, will the Pelicans trade Valanciunas for more of a rim protector stuff, and I am just going to predict that does not happen. Real quick on AJ Griffin, he definitely showed signs in his rookie season of being able to like make catch and shoots, work off the dribble, especially off the catch, or if you put him in some off-ball actions to where he can catch it on the move. However, I think between just the amount of pressure that Atlanta had to win this year with Quinn Snyder, even if it didn't end up working out like that, on top of like the emergence of Jalen Johnson and stuff, I just think it was tough to find minutes on the wing for Griffin. He also did miss some time with some personal stuff this year. What else do we have? We have a lot of weird Dinwiddie noise with the Nets right now. Of course, we have already seen one instance of Dinwiddie just kind of losing favor with his current team, and then he goes to a new one where he doesn't have to run as much of the offense, and suddenly he's awesome, of course, with going from the Wizards to the Mavs. It would not shock me if something similar happened again. Dinwiddie's been better in his last 3 games if you want to go crazy over that. Now, I know Tyus Jones has also been in the rumors a little bit. He could be a buy low option for Miami. If they're like, yeah, we don't want to give as much stuff up for Rozier. Let's get the more fundamentally sound, doesn't shoot as much, assist to turnover god, Tyus Jones. Now, the one counter to that being Tyus's scoring and percentages really fall off in the playoffs. Like, he's never a score-first guy, but he's always been like an efficient 10 points a game guy. In the playoffs, he becomes like an inefficient 7 points a game guy. At least so far. Not a guarantee it would keep on happening.